Please welcome Sven Engelmann, Co-Founder and COO of OMQ, an AI-based customer service software based in Berlin, responsible for OMQ's finance, operations, sales, and customer relations. Sven, great to have you.
Hey, hello.
OMQ is working about 10 years now on developing artificial intelligence software for customer services. What was it like to start a business in AI around 2010?
It was really hard. So because we were a bit early, so we started in 2010, and Matthias came up with the idea to smash up AI and customer service to develop an intelligent database which answers questions from the customer immediately. And it was hard for us to waste some money. So we often went to some investors, and the investor said, "So why should we automate the customer service?" So they often ask us, "So a team with your capabilities, so why don't you develop in social media network or do something with vouchers?" Yeah, it was 2010, and it was really hard for us, but we saw the problem that in the future we've got an increased demand of customer service because the e-commerce was growing, and we saw that there is a big demand. And Matze always said, so the people couldn't do this manually. And we have to fill this gap with technology. And because
Matze is your co-founder, right?
What?
Matze is your co-founder,
Yeah,
right?
Matze, my
Just to let the audience know.
Yeah, Matze, my co-founder. And because of this, we concentrate ourselves to get some foundings, some public foundings. And then we said, okay, we tried to build up a company just by our own. We bootstrap the whole company, and we focus ourselves. And it was interesting because we were never the guys with the millions of VC money on their accounts. So we were just the guys with the idea, and we tried to do the best on the product. And so this was the idea that we tried to make a company without any VC money, because we were not sexy for them 2010.
Did it change, or is it different now?
Yeah, now it changed, but now we're at the point that we say, okay, we don't need your money anymore. So often people call us, or VCs call us, so is there any possibility to invest in your company? And we said, no, so we don't need it anymore. You're too late.
There are a great amount of big customers among is Deutsche Bahn in Germany, right?
Yeah, so the Deutsche Bahn was one of our first customers. And what we tried is that we found out some big companies like the Deutsche Bahn or Magix, Chibu, which are very famous in a special market. And because of this, you can say, okay, one big customer uses software in this market, and so we can say to the competitors, so why don't you use things like this?
Mm-hmm.
And
how are your other B2B clients adjusting to your product?
Other B2B clients. So we've in a niche with our product, because our idea is that we help to support the existing infrastructure. So this was one learning in the beginning of our company. So the first idea was that we build up a complete ticket system with an artificial knowledge base in the center of everything. And then we go to the first big customer and said, here we've got this new ticket system with this AI-based knowledge-based system. And then they said, oh, that's really cool, but we would never change our ticket system. But your knowledge base sounds really good and looks really good. And please take your knowledge base out of your existing ticket system and put it into our ticket system. And this was the idea, and it became very clear for us that we will never change the infrastructure of our customers. So we just improve their existing infrastructure.
And now OMQ offers like 5 products or features that all assist customers to optimize cost, speed, and service quality, and that you just described like are being integrated into those customer service softwares, just like Zendesk or Userlike or Shopware. But as I remember, Zendesk is also offering an AI chatbot. I'm wondering, where is the difference to OMQ?
Yeah, that's. I think the first biggest thing which are different. So we have got a bigger focus on the technology. One example: our system, our AI system, works in 34 different languages, and the Zendesk chatbot or Zendesk AI system just works in English. So, and then what's also interesting is that we have got an complete different business approach. So with Zendesk, you get charged by every user, and our idea is to reduce the amount of users. So that you've got the AI which helps you to automate your customer service. And that's not the focus of Zendesk. So because if there would reduce the amount of users, there was reduce their earnings. And we've got a complete different view how we want to earn money. And that's our difference. So we've got we have got a bigger technology focus, and we've got a complete different business model.
Like if customer experience teams, they normally optimize metrics like first response time, average handle time, average speed of answer, or even qualitative things like customer satisfaction score, which is like similar to the NPS, the Net Promoter Score. How are those metrics improving after a client is using those AI-based virtual assistant, or yours especially?
So we've got some high flyers. They reduce up to 80% of their request via the contact form. So normally we are, or a normal KPI in this region are 30%. We reduce 30% of the request via the contact form. Then you can say that 93% of all visitors of our dynamic FAQs don't visit the contact page after visiting the dynamic FAQs. And then you have an increase in the ticket processing. So you can be 25% faster to answer your customers with our systems. So, and these are the KPIs which you had. And then on the other hand, you increase the customer satisfaction, because the customer who has a problem get answers immediately. So the customer don't has to wait for any answer from the customer service, because our system will show everything in real time and immediately to the customer.
Which is a big improvement, right? Other qualitative KPIs?
Yeah, you've got all.
How are end users reacting to virtual assistants, for example?
Yeah, the ratings or the usage or the tracking shows in the virtual assistants, like in a chatbot, you've got a solve rate which is higher than 50%. So more than the half will be answered with a chatbot. But there is a funny thing, because in the rest of the 50% which can't be answered, there are so creepy questions and things in it, which can't answer by an automatic system. And it's very interesting how people interact with chatbots or with some automatic things. It's different, like they talk or they write with a real person.
So you said creepy things. Like what? Have you an example for us?
The the interesting thing, I think one of the earliest adopter or the earliest users with some chatbot were IKEA with their Ask Anna. And the most of the most question was, hello Anna, what's where are you living? Can we meet you, or can you please dress up your shirt? So, and this is similar to.
And what does she answer?
I think the answer was that they show the top 5 kitchens which they can offer or something. So I don't know.
All right.
Yeah, but it was.
So is humor, for example, a thing?
Sorry.
So is humor an issue in AI? So how is the algorithm knowing or differentiating from humor or sarcasm, for example, or like ironic language, ironic speech?
Yeah.
Is it difficult?
Yeah. It's hard. It's hard to understand. It's hard to understand for these kind of technologies, to understand ironic, or to understand what the real meaning, if you describe something in a wrong way. So and for years, or for 5 years, it was also hard to understand if someone said with I don't, or something with not. It was also hard to understand that not is combined with the word somewhere, and to find out how should I combine the not with something. And the new system are able to do this, to combine this not, and then they know, okay, I have to combine this not with a special word. And it's really, really hard for systems to to understand this. But the interesting thing is that companies often thought that that chatbots should do this because this is normal. So why don't the chatbot understand it? Because every agent also understands it. And this is really hard. And often, if we give if you start a project, then someone tests the chatbot and just type in one word, and then he said, so it doesn't work. So I wrote down a word and it doesn't work. And then we said, okay, but what should you do if you start a chat and you just get one word. So you often have to tell your customers, so um, what are the barriers for these AI things. And what's also interesting is that that the customer have a lower barrier to talk with chatbots. So this is very interesting. So so in one hand, you can you have a um, an answer which is more truth than you will ask them by phone. Um, for example, there was a test and people were asked via phone how much beer per day they drink. And the answer often was, yeah, just one beer per day. And then the chatbot asked, how many beers did you drink? And the answer was, yeah, 3 times higher. So you see, okay, there is a difference because you think that the answers in the chatbot are more truth than you do it via phone. And for this, you can use it in your company, especially if you have no money and you have problems. So it's easier to talk with an AI chatbot than with a real person. So if you don't like to talk with someone, it's easy to tell the chatbot, "Oh, I've got some problems," and so you can use these kinds of interaction also in your company.
So, which I mean, this is really interesting because in qualitative research or user testings, it is exactly that kind of question that sometimes people tend to say things that they do differently, that you actually have to read between the lines,
Yeah.
and also that you are biased as a customer or client or user. If you know that you're talking to a person, and it makes a difference if there is a virtual assistant. That's why I think chatbots are often said the answer is made by or done by a virtual assistant. And you can use that in a different and more comprehensive way. You can actually analyze things differently, which is actually my question. Like now, are you conducting user research to find out if your algorithms are working properly? So do you test users, or do you actually optimize only by your FAQ knowledge base and the KPIs and metrics?
It's we do both. So especially in the first time, it was good for us to understand how people interact with system like ours. And it was also good to know how they um, how we can integrate our tracking, because we don't ask the customer was it helpful or not. So we track the customer and find out, because of the behavior of the customer, if it was helpful or not. And because of this, we have to define a gold standard that we know a customer who get the right answer interacts in a special way. And because of this, we have to track it at first. So this is the best way how we can help. And because of this, it was good for us to understand how our customers interact, or with our system. And then it changed a bit because we know then how they interact and how they work. And then it changed, and we got more data driven, so that we know, okay, we've got more KPIs and we tried to improve the KPIs. But at first it was the basic to understand how they interact with our system.
Like if a client wants to use your product, what's the integration process? How is OMQ actually integrated in a client's software? How long does it take? Is it easy? Do we have to help a lot, support a lot?
Yeah, it's very easy to integrate, and the easy integration was also a long learning. So we try to reduce the entrance barriers step by step, and now it's able to integrate our software in 20 minutes, and to work with our system can be done in a half day. So the limiting factor which we had is the developer on the customer side who integrates this small snippet on the web page. And if the system works out of the box. This was also a learning that no one wants to train these systems. No one wants to have so much work on this. And then we say, okay, dear customer, please give us all your FAQs. We put all the FAQs in. Give us your corporate design, your style guide. We will make every interaction ready so that the customer have no work with us. So and then the limiting factor is the developer often who integrates the snippet, and then it can be done very very fast. And I think it is also the future that AI systems have to work out of the box. So no one likes to train any AI data anymore.
That's right. So speaking of AI and development, I was really amazed by one of your employees, Dr. Taegil No, who's one of your data scientists. He exhibited actually issues and challenges that you had to overcome before using state-of-the-art transformer models like BRT and GPT. I don't want to get too much into details. There's an interesting video on the OMQ website, which would be also displayed below the video. But in terms of that, what are your biggest learnings in the last years?
The biggest learnings, the most important thing is the most important thing in your business is your product. So I think the product is it should stand in the middle, and everything around is the company. But this is the core which is the important thing. And if you got an idea or a product which stucks, and you see yourself and your company so in a dead end, then it's important that you have to stop your work at this, and you have to take everything which was good. So and then you have to go back a few steps and start from a new direction. So this was a big learning for us, that we had a good idea, then we developed we developed something like the ticket system which we had, and then we go to the market and we know, okay, we are not able to sell this ticket system, and we have to focus on the knowledge base AI system because this is our core. And I think this was the biggest learning. The product is at the core of your company, and if you're in a dead end, you have to stop and have to go. Okay, let's try another way.
This is interesting because I'm actually finding that finding product market fit, or before that you actually are doing prototypes or MVP. Is it not possible in using AI technology or a machine learning technology to have prototypes, because you have to train the data a couple of weeks, months, maybe years?
Yeah.
Is that the difference? So you cannot just test the prototype?
I think so. Um, the learnings with the dead end, I think it was 7 years ago. So now we are in another situation. We've got another technology which we can use. So I agree with you, but often I see there is a problem that you say, okay, you've got a very fancy AI technology, and you have to do, or you have to transform this technology into a product. And that's the really biggest step which you have to do. You have to put this technology into a product. So often we talk with some university projects in this direction, and then they said, okay, we've got a new technology, some learn impulses which we can do, and then we ask, okay, we can test the data. So how long took the training? And then they said, okay, the training took, I think, 3 weeks. And then we said, okay, we couldn't wait 3 weeks for a customer that the customer get the learnings. So we need it immediately. We need one day. And there is often a difference between the technology and the fitting product which is able to sell in the market.
Mm-hmm. You said in summer 2020 something about a 100% project in terms of automation. What is it exactly?
This is a real ambition project. So we've got one customer, and we try to improve the customer service in this direction, that we automate 100% of their customer service interactions. And we started in summer, and the interesting thing, or the learning which we had now, is that it's harder than we expected. It's not because of the technology.
Why?
Biggest problem is which we had is that the focus is not only then on the customer service. So the problem is that we have to talk with more departments. And if you have to talk with more departments, all decision ways are longer. And so we said, okay, now we start step by step. And we are on a good way, but now we automate the first biggest requests, which are highest traffic, and then we go down. But the interesting thing is that we will never, or we will. It will be hard for us to reach 100%, because you've got also the customer who try, who will never. So we've got a couple of customers who will never use systems like we offer, and because of this, 100% will be very hard for us. But we have to work, and so the hope, though, so the goal is to reach 100%, and we will try it now more in a smaller step way than we expected. But we are on a good way.
So you're trying to automate the whole process to 100%, right? And overall units or teams within a company, or that a client or a user of a client will be helped, supported, answered to 100% automated, right?
Yeah. That's the idea.
Okay. And you're like now 60%, 70%, 90?
I think we are now at 70%.
Mm-hmm. So let me know if you reach 100% or even 95. It's a huge improvement anyway. So good luck.
I think
another one of OMQ's vision.
It's very interesting because there was a Gartner report in 2012 which said in 2020 just 5% of all requests were answered manually. Now in
predictions are predictions, right?
I think Gartner has to calculate new. I don't it. The prediction was wrong.
I find it really hard to actually predict it, and even if it's only for the next 5 to 10 days of weather forecast. So that's two terms of predictions.
Yeah.
So your co-founder Matthias has, or maybe you both said it. Another of OMQ's vision is finding a meta model of language, meaning being able to classify new requests without ever having seen customer data before. How is that going?
So with the next update, we will have the latest version of this kind of technology. And the interesting thing is that now we've got a technology which is pre-trained by data, and the data there are billions of data now in, which is very interesting because now we've got the internet, and we use the internet as a training platform, which is a new way how we can use how we can use existing data, and that's very interesting. And now with the next update, the latest version will be included, and then I think we have done a big step with our technology, because it's always our in our minds that we have to improve our technology in every generation, every year a new generation, and this model will be updated, I think, next week. So, and then we had a big step in this direction.
So I'm curious. I will have a look at it.
Yeah.
Maybe in another episode I will ask again.
Yeah. So
and although OMQ, I mean, you were first mover 2010 in those automation and AI systems, which is specialized like technology. It still is, but now you're competing like with players, digital genius from Silicon Valley. Zendesk, Salesforce, SAP, all those big enterprises, only to name one of the bigger ones. Like, where's OMQ going? What are your next steps?
So in the new future, so we are focused on connecting with third-party systems. So this is very important because if a customer had a question, so when I get my order, so we can understand that the customer wants to know what is the delivering time. Then we can say, okay, normally it took 2 to 3 days to send you the order. This is the normal answer which we can give the customer. But the idea is with the connection and third-party systems that the customer asked when I get my order, and our system said tomorrow between 10 and 11 the package will come. So this is the idea, and you can do this in combination with third-party systems, and we are focused on this. And what our idea is we've got a big bench of competitors, like the biggest one. But our idea is to help also smaller companies to participate on AI. And so also smaller companies can use our system because it works out of the box. We don't have to make a big project with it. So we help the small companies to use our system or to use AI. And so also the small e-commerce shop can improve their customer service.
A huge advantage, I think.
Yeah.
Well, looking forward to it. Like as I ask every guest of your top 5, I'd like to ask you, what's your number 1 book?
Oh. I don't read so much books because I don't have so much time. The last book which I read was I think The Lonely Planet, Portugal. So
A good one.
Because we love to travel, and so we've got the half book wall is full of lonely planets. So yeah, that's my favorite books. And I don't like to read these these guidebooks, these hype books. Yeah, I'm not a fan of it.
Number 1 resource, blog or podcast or videocast, you name it.
I'm a fan of a very special podcast which is called Fest und Flauschig.
Very nice. I adore that too.
The reason why
I think it's only for Berlin or German people they know. So for international guests,
it's just for German. I think it's just for German people.
Yeah.
I don't think that anyone will understand these kind of jokes which they do. And but the thing why I like to hear it is that for me they say things which are has a moral way. So I know, okay, I have to follow them because the things how they see things are right. And so I like them very much. So they see
Number 1 person you follow.
Sorry?
Number 1 person you follow. I'm moving on with the next top 5.
Sorry. So you will not believe, but in the preparation of our interview, I now since yesterday I followed Userpeek.
Very nice. Thank you.
And
number 1.
So
yeah, you want to add something?
I think the OMQ Instagram page is very good, I would say.
Yeah, it is.
I'm not such a big. I'm not really good in this follower game. I think
Well,
I will try to.
you can get to it.
Twitch. So the next time I will try to be big in Twitch, but I'm think too old. So maybe if someone has some help for me, I think Twitch will be my next big goal.
Number one, research method. I mean, you're not a researcher or designer or product person, but like you said, you do A/B testing, other kinds of testing. What is your number one maybe testing method?
I don't like this. I don't like really the A/B testing. I'm more. I like more the way that the analyzes how we do. It's more in a smart tracking that we try to find, that we look what is the customer doing, and because of this we will find some results, and without any asking. So this is my method, so which I prefer.
Number one skill, a data analyst or data scientist or a person working at OMQ must have.
So open-minded, because it's not good to follow just these normal ways. So for us, it's always it was always successful if we tried to go a step backwards and look how can we change, or how can we make it completely new, and this can be done if you don't have this in mind, or okay, how to do this. So I think if you have got if you are open-minded, you can solve problems in another way.
So one last request before we come to the end of today's episode. Give our audience a statement that you'd like to see spread around the world.
Okay. So I would say, dear founders, so don't take yourself too seriously, and the rest, take the founders, please, more seriously. Okay?
With the West, you mean?
The rest of the world.
Okay, so United States.
All people
Oh, the
who are
rest.
not founders.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Sven, it was a pleasure to talk to you. Yeah, good luck with OMQ as well. I'm keeping watching, and yeah, thank you.
Okay, then bye.